So 2 weeks ago, or about 3 weeks ago, I think, yeah, I was on a prayer call. I was just praying with some friends, and then you sent me a text. But I couldn't pay attention, so I just said, "Thanks for the message. I'll call you back." And this was, I think, the day that Floyd uh, passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, um, either the day or the day before. I can't remember
Mhm.
now. And and then we were praying for America, actually. And I looked at the video just for a little bit, and it was just it was too much. Then I you offered that should we come together and just share and
Yeah.
talk, and I was like, yeah. So I think the following Thursday we we did a call over Skype. I honestly, literally thought it was going to be 20 minutes max, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and we ended up spending about 2 hours straight talking, um, heart to heart talk, soul to soul speaking,
Mhm.
and we said after the call that, wow, we should have recorded. This should have been
Yeah.
this should have been recorded, and if that was recorded, we wouldn't be sitting on this
Right.
couch. So we wouldn't be on this couch, but um, so we're here now just to discuss about the issues, some of the issues, but we're only discussing from what we have in common, which is Christ.
Yeah.
I understand that everyone has a different worldview. Muslim brothers have their worldview. Even atheists have their worldview. Buddhists have their worldview.
Yeah.
Hindus have their worldview.
Right.
Um, our worldview is in Christ, is in Jesus. So I just always share from a biblical, um, Christ-centered um, way to look at what a lot of topics: identity, Jesus, race, um, justice,
Yeah.
um, injustice, justice,
Sure.
righteousness, um, and what is our true identity? Because I know that we're one race. You and I are one race. Um, we have different terminologies for it. I do accept where you can see that. um, that's uh, that's a white skin right there.
Yeah.
That's a, you call it whatever, brown, black. It doesn't matter to me. But I own it. I love it.
Yeah.
But God created one race. In the animal kingdom, they have different species, right? But some animals, when you say fish, for example, so if it's tuna, it's still a fish. If it's tilapia, it's a fish. I don't know much about fish. The fish, different kinds of. But when you say fish, it's fish. When you say birds, you say eagles. You mention other kind of. Even a parrot is a form of,
Still a bird.
still a bird. So with the human race, God created one race, different colors,
Yeah.
and that's the spice of life, really. And it's unfortunate that in 2020, um, June 19th,
Yeah.
a day like today, um, the world is still in a place where, as educated, as exposed, as knowledgeable as we are, um, what we've decided to see is color. It's amazing that your daughter or my son at this age, your last daughter at this age, they don't see that. They just
Mhm.
want to play. So what happens? Just
Well, and I feel like there's such a gap right now too. Like there's such division,
yeah,
and for us to talk about what brings us together to have a conversation about such a divisive topic,
mhm,
it's the gospel. But I think it's important for us, even having these conversations, inviting other people into them, for us
yeah,
to define what do we mean when we say that? Like, what is the gospel and why does that matter when it comes to topics like race and injustice and peace and hope and how does that matter and why? When we talk about the gospel, this is something that you and I know both believe. It's our common worldview, is that people do wrong things, all of us, and God calls that sin, doing things our way instead of his way. And because of that, we deserve just consequences for that from God. But then in Jesus takes the consequences for all who will believe, turn away from their sin and turn towards him, and he will absorb the justice that we deserve so we can be welcomed into God's family and have peace and reconciliation with him. That's the belief side of the gospel. But then the Bible also tells us that belief should lead to doing. So gospel believing should lead to gospel doing. So we can sit here all day long and say, we believe the gospel. Tell other people, you should be a Christian. You should believe the gospel. And that's not a wrong thing. But if that's where we stop, we've stopped way too short.
Halfway.
Because gospel believing must lead us to gospel doing, gospel conversations, reconciliation, listening, learning. All of those things should come out of the fact that we do believe in Jesus. So I think for us, that's our goal here.
100%.
It's not to get famous.
No.
We're not looking for us to be the next social media sensation.
No.
We just want to be faithful to who we are in Christ and faithful to the lives that we think that Christ calls us to live as we embrace the gospel and what we believe and what we do.
As you know, I'm a private person, very private. So I do this for the gospel, to be honest. I'm not doing this for hashtags and because there's always life beyond the hashtags. It's how can we impact one another in our relationship, which we've built over the years, and how can we bring other people in, black, white, brown,